And what you gonna do when Hulkamania and the largest arms in the world run wild on you?
Tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. right here in Toronto's Maple Leaf Gardens. Don't you dare miss this one.
Oh, hey everybody. Inspired by this week's matchup between Trisha and Amanda, I am happy to announce a stupid little contest I'm calling Trish Amanda. Brother. I've set up brackets for all of the mascots in our division so that we can finally answer the question, whose mascot would win in a fight? So in the Cute and Pudgy division, we have the Happy Aardvarks squaring off against the LA Slow Dogs, Pandas, and Thrill Ho. Dudes division has I Like the Way You Kirk It with Matt's team and the Michigan Worshippers. Our Badger Bucket teams are all fit into the Badger Bucket division. We could also call this the Honey Ham division. And then our last three remaining teams are lumped into the category Abstract Concepts and Existential Dread. Over in the Cute and Pudgy division, we have the Happy Aardvark, whose strength is alphabetical order, but whose weakness was wussiness, taking on the Lilac Avenue Slow Dog, who looks good in a tank top, but requires 17 hours of sleep per day. They'll see if they can take on the Pandas with the ability to ride horses, but the inability to not be endangered. And you can't count out Thrill House, because as they say, everything's coming up Millhouse. But then again, nobody likes Millhouse. Over in the Dudes division, Kirk Cousins, the mascot for I Like the Way You Kirk It, he has the strength of fatherhood on his side, but he's going to have to overcome his weakness to long-term contracts if he wants to win this one, especially now that he's got another mouth to feed. Matt's the mascot for Matt's team. His strength is that he can actually build stadiums out of nothing, but his weakness is his inability to change default team names. Now, I'll admit for this last one, I wasn't exactly sure what to make the mascot for Michigan Worshipper, so I went to the internet, and it says that Michigan means, among other things, garbage. Worshipper means a person who worships, which means that the mascot for the Michigan Worshippers must be someone who worships garbage. Who is that? This guy. His strength is crazy. His weakness is crazy. Who will win? The Badger Bucket division is really hot this week. We've got our two honey teams squaring off. Honey Badger famously doesn't care. But you have to ask, is that any way to go through life? They're taking on the Honey Buckets, the mascot of which is a porta potty company on the West Coast. The strength is their incredible convenience. Their weakness is their incredible grossness. Now, I'm going to pause here and just comment on how hard I had to work to find mascots for the other two teams in this division. So, I asked myself, what does a ham badger look like? And I found this diagram of a badger and the best parts to make like a ham. Its strengths are the saddle, where all the best bits are, apparently. But the weakness of the ham badger is that the giblets give you tuberculosis. Over here, this is the only picture I could find on the internet of a ham bucket, which people really seem to like. But we have to ask, is this even good for you? Last division is our Abstract Concepts and Existential Dread. We've got 99 Problems But Fits 8 Once facing off against Blue Streakin' and Announcer Innuendo. Good strength for our first team in this division is Larry Fitzgerald, especially after last week. He is pretty good. Let's not forget that 99 is still a lot of problems. Announcer Innuendo, we can say it always brightens up a dull game, but does anybody like the word penetration? I think not. Lastly, Blue Streakin', their mascot strength is everybody's doing it. You gotta worry about shrinkage, though. I've set up a bracket for us. It's a link on the post on the message board. Get in there, vote for who you think would win in a fight in each division, and we will see who takes the crown for Trish Amanda. Let's look back at our last week real quick. Lilac Avenue Slow Dogs pulled off a huge win in the Big Dog Showdown. Go Slow Dogs, arf arf. Heartbreak of the week, though, has to go to Michigan. We could all hear Will's heart breaking as Aaron Rodgers broke his collarbone in the opening minutes of their game this week. And got to give a shout out to Trisha for winning her showdown with the other number one team in this league. She's taken firm control of the number one spot in the HCFC, and you got to wonder if anybody's going to catch up with her this season. This is going to be a huge week for us. I honestly didn't realize these games would be this good when I planned this bracket thing weeks ago. Trisha taking on Amanda. That's where the name of this week's challenge comes from. We've also got Michelle facing off against Kevin in the battle of number two teams in their division. They both have records of 4-2, and they both have the number one and number two most points scored this league in this league. Cece's taking on Scott as well. They're both they're both in third in their division, so that's going to be a big showdown. Elsewhere, I'm playing Marion. Brandon, you're taking on Matt. Brandon's just barely out of the playoffs right now. He could use a win. Will is playing Allison. They're both within shooting distance. And Nick is playing Carla. Want to call it a trade that just processed for this week. I got to give this one between Brandon and Allison 2 thumbs up. Both teams are improving here with Allison picking up a much-needed running back and Brandon picking up a quarterback who doesn't play for Buffalo. Best part of this trade, though, is Allison's finally dropping Theo Riddick. I cannot believe that someone was playing the Lions' backup running back for as long as she did. Nice work, everyone. Let's check in on the race for the Cup. In 7th place, we have Madison with 8:03. Cleveland's just ahead of them with 8:44. Farmington makes a little bit of a jump. They're at 9:17. Right ahead of them, we have Milford at 9:19. Berkeley drops into 3rd place with 1,011 points. Just 1 point ahead of them at 1,012, we have Chicago, which means the good guys in EL continue to hold on to 1st place with a whopping 1,109 points for the Cup. It's going to be a big week, everybody, so make sure you set your lineup.